I'm so jealous, one of the people in chat commented. Another said, I wish I was at the point where I could afford to leave behind monsters. The adventurer was likely just starting on their journey and was still grinding when it came to earning guild points. Seeing the comment related to people being jealous that they were leaving behind monsters made James mentally chuckle. He remembered the days that many of the comments reflected. Looking at the camera, James smiled reassuringly. Don't worry, all of you will get to the point where leaving behind monsters will make more sense than trying to bring it along. Waving a hand at the others to signal that it was time for them to continue, James led the way. Having encountered monsters, he increased his speed. I'm guessing we won't be stopping for the night? Adam called out from where he was jogging. Turning his head slightly so that he could see ahead of him, but also allow Adam to hear, James said, We could, if you don't mind us being attacked while we sleep. Even though Adam was complaining, James knew that Adam understood that sleeping for them wasn't an option. It may have been something they could do before, but the forest cats attacking them made such a thing impossible. Staying in one place for too long would only make things difficult for them. While they were running, James spotted something on the ground out of the corner of his eyes. Raising a hand to alert the others that they were going to slow down, James came to a halt. What's up? Maya asked. I thought I saw something. James raised a hand to alert them to be quiet. With the sun about to set, their surroundings were barely visible. Get your lights ready, James said to the others. Reaching back to one of the side pockets, it wasn't long before he had a small device that was similar to a flashlight. Flipping a switch and adjusting the shielding, a red light poured out. Even with the light being red, which would limit how far it could be seen, James knew that they needed to be careful. Walking back along the game trail and moving into the brush, his heart sank. He spotted something that let him know that they were going to deal with bad news. In front of him was a deep paw mark. James heard the sound of leaves and branches carefully pushed to the side. What did you find? Maya asked him. Bad news, James answered. Really bad news. Glancing at the chat, people furiously typed out questions demanding to know what was happening and what was wrong. Some asked if more forest cats were coming after them. The more experienced adventurers denied that such a thing would be an issue. Forest cats wouldn't make James so scared. It's clearly something stronger. A seasoned adventurer guessed. The comment was followed by another. What do you think it is? They aren't in a swamp, so it can't be a twin-head swamp snake. Shudder. Just thinking about swamp snakes. I saw a stream where an adventurer had to deal with that creature. You never think about how chilling the sound of someone's scream can be when they're being pulled apart. An adventurer shared with the rest of the chat. It's a rock bear, and a large one at that. James moved to get closer. Placing a hand on the imprint, he made it clear the size of the monster. It wasn't even close to the difference between a child and their parents. The paw engulfed James' hand. Maya gasped as James aimed the light to help their visibility. What can we do against that? Maya pushed the words out of her mouth. How in the world did we not hear such a thing crashing through the forest? She demanded in a hushed voice in fear of attracting the thing that made the mark on the forest floor. Shaking his head, James looked at the print and said, "I suspect that it wasn't that long since it passed through here. We might have been too distracted by the forest cats attacking us to hear."